Hello scholars, today we'll be looking at vectors, cross product, dot product, magnitude of vectors, and so on and so forth. Now, we're given that vector A is equal to 5i plus 4j minus 2k. Vector B is equal to 2i minus 6j plus 3k. Vector C is equal to 3i plus 2j plus k. And we're asked to find magnitude of A and magnitude of B. We also have to find A cross B, A dot B, A cross B dot C, and the angle between A and B. Now, let me just add for us to find the magnitude of C. So this becomes I. Let's find the magnitude of C also. This becomes IV. This is V. And then this is VI. Now, so let's find the magnitude of A. Now, how do we find the magnitude of A? Because this symbol means magnitude. Alright? Now, how do we find the magnitude of A? It becomes square root of the squares of each component. The quotient of each component. So it becomes square root of 5 squared plus 4 squared plus minus 2 squared. So this is going to be equal to 5 squared, that gives us 25, plus 4 squared, that gives us 16, plus 2 squared, that gives us 4, minus 2 squared, which is minus 2 times minus 2, that gives us 4. Now 4 plus 16, that gives us 20. 20 plus 25, that gives us 45. So this is going to be equal to square root of 45 is going to give us what? 6.71. Now that's magnitude of A, now which is I. Now let's find II, which is magnitude of B. So magnitude of B is going to be equal to square root of the square of each of the components, the quotient of the component. So that's going to be 2 squared plus minus 6 squared plus 3 squared. So that's going to be equal to square root of 2 squared, that gives us 4, plus minus 6 squared, that's minus 6 times minus 6, that gives us 36, plus 3 squared, that gives us 9. So this is going to be equal to square root of 4 plus 36, that gives us 40, plus 9, that gives us 49. And square root of 49 gives us 7. So the magnitude of B, vector B, is equal to 7. Now let's find the magnitude of vector C. Let's find the magnitude of vector C. So this is going to be equal to square root of 3 squared plus 2 squared plus, now there is an invisible 1 in front of this k. So the quotient of this k component is 1. So that's going to be 1 squared. So this is going to be equal to square root of 3 squared, that gives us 9, plus 2 squared, that gives us 4, plus 1 squared, that gives us 1. Now that's going to be 9 plus 4, that gives us 13, plus 1, that gives us 14. So this is going to be equal to square root of 14, which is going to be equal to 3.74. So that's the magnitude of vector C. Now, let's find the cross product, because this means cross product between A and B. So that is going to be our IV. Now, how do we find the cross product between A and B? How do we find the cross product between A and B? What do we do? First of all, we write I, J, and K. Now, we give this plus, we give this minus, we give this plus. Because this is a 3 by 3 matrix, it's going to result into a 3 by 3 matrix. Now, what are the components of your I? Components of your I between A and B, you have 5, 2. For J, you have 4, and then you have minus 6. For K, you have minus 2 and 3. So you put this. So this is now a 3 by 3 matrix. Now, the next step is that we are going to convert this to a 2 by 2 matrix. We change it to a 2 by 2 matrix, or we resolve it to a 2 by 2 matrix. So what does that become? It becomes what? I into, now, you take I, which is positive, neglect what is by the side, and neglect what is beneath. Neglect what is by the side of I, and neglect what is beneath I. What are you going to be left with? I'm going to be left with what? 4 minus 2 minus 6, 3. So this is going to be 4 minus 6 minus 2, 3. Then minus J into, now, neglect what is beneath J, neglect what is by the side. Neglect what is beneath J and neglect what is by the side. Neglect what is beneath J and neglect what is by the side. We're going to be left with what? 5, 2 minus 2, 3. 5, 2 minus 2, 3. Now the next one is plus k. So this becomes plus k into, neglect what is by the side, by beneath, and neglect what is by the side. So you're going to be left with 5 to 4 minus 6. Now, the next step is that it becomes, we're going to find the determinant of these 2 by 2 vectors. So if you have vectors A, B, C, D, and you want to find the determinant between these vectors, what do? You multiply A times D, so it becomes A times D minus B times C, all right? B times C, all right? So we're going to apply it here. So this becomes what? I into 4 times 3, that gives us 12, minus 2 times minus 6, that gives us what? 12, plus 12. So it becomes minus j into 5 times 3, that gives us 15, minus 2 times 2, that gives us minus 4, close the brackets, plus k into, now 5 times minus 6, that gives us what? Minus 30, minus 4 times 2, that gives us 8. All right, so this is going to be equal to 12 minus 12, of course, gives us 0. So that's going to be I into 0. Now, minus j into, now, minus times minus gives us plus. So 15 plus 4, that gives us 19. Now, this is minus 30 minus 8. That gives us minus 38. So this is going to be plus k into minus 38. Now, let's continue from here. Let's continue from here. So this becomes that A cross B is going to be equal to, so this is I times 0, of course, gives us 0, minus j times 19 gives us minus 19j. K multiplied by minus 30, that gives us minus 38k. 0 minus this, that gives us what? Minus 19j minus 38k. Now, of course, this is our answer for A cross B. Or you can also write it as, now I can also write this same A cross B as the same 0i. Now 0 times I, of course, is 0, which is not really relevant, but I can still write it like this, minus 19j minus 38k. So either this or this is a way you can express your answer depending on what you are dealing with. Now, the next thing we're asked to find the dot product between A and B. Now let's find the dot product between A and B. So for us to find the dot product between A and B, we are going to multiply the components of ijk to themselves. So what does that become? So that becomes what? Now I would love to rub, okay, I can rub this off now. All right, so now let's find the dot product between A and B. Now how do we do that? Like I said, V, which is A dot B, is going to be equal to, multiply the coefficient of the components of I to I. 5 times 2, that gives us 10. Multiply the component of J to J. 4 times minus 6, that gives us minus 24. And minus 2 times 3, that gives us what? Minus 6. So 10 minus 24 gives us minus 14. Minus 14 minus 6 gives us minus 20. So the dot product between A and B gives us minus 20. Very easy. So this is the dot product between A and B. Now, let's find A cross B dot C. Now, we found A cross B already, which is this. Now, let's find A cross B dot C. So our concern is between A cross B and C. So let me write C here. So C is equal to what? 3i plus 2j plus k. Now, we have to find, let me put it here. We have to find A cross B dot C. So that's going to be equal to what? Now, 0 times 3, that gives us 0, of course. Minus 19 times 2, that gives us what? Minus 19 times 2, that gives us minus 38. So it becomes minus 38. Now, minus 38 times 1, that gives us another minus 38. Alright? Another minus 38. Now, 0 minus 38 minus 38, that is going to give us minus 76. So the cross product between A and B dot C is equal to minus 76. Now, the next one we're asked to find is the angle between A and B. Now, how do we find the angle between A and B? Now, for you to find your angle, we use cos theta. So this is VI. We use cos theta is equal to the dot product between the vectors over the magnitude, the multiplication of the magnitude of the vectors, of the two vectors. So this is going to be equal to cos theta is equal to A dot B. Now, when we did A dot B, what did we get? We got minus 20. So this is going to be minus 20 over, now magnitude of A is 6.71 multiplied by magnitude of B is what? 7. So now, we have this here. Now, for us to get the angle, we have to get the cos inverse, which is the arc cos of the whole of this. What do I mean by that? I mean that to get theta, which is the angle between the vectors, becomes cos inverse of the whole of this, which is minus 20 over 6.71 multiplied by 7. Now, so theta is going to be equal to, now when you find out the cos inverse of this, we're going to have 115.2 degree, and this will be your answer. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, share this video, and comment. Subscribe and hit the notification button so that every time I upload a video, you get notified. Thank you.